Hey, I'm Todd. Thanks for choosing to watch my video, and if you would subscribe it, like it, all that stuff, that'd be great. Otherwise, enjoy the video, and I hope it gives you the information you need and is helpful to you. Take care. So I do get a lot of comments with people saying I have saved them a lot of money, and I do get questions, hey, can I send you some money somehow? And now there is a way, if you so choose, called fan funding. You'll find it on the channel page right there. Radiator assembly on a 2006, 2007 5.7 liter Dodge Charger. Got the coolant draining down below. Got the upper hose off. Spring-loaded clamp right here. This piece is on top, up here, above the fan shroud. There's a hose right here for me. There's a hose. Need a bracket down there. Got that out. Reach up here with a pair of pliers and get the lower hose off. Likely here. Coolant draining right here is the drain right here. It's about a turn and a half, and it kind of pops out. Then we got the coolant draining. Got a shield here, kind of broken. Get that out of the way. Transmission will drop down. Taking out two bolts, 10mm bolts for the radiator fan shroud right here. One is one, which I've taken out. Second one is down here. Got my ratchet on there, and it is loose already. Could probably get it this way, underneath here, and go down here with maybe an extension and a swivel and get it this way. Passenger side underneath. This is actually holding the radiator in place. This bracket, two 13mm bolts here, and over here is two more 13mm bolts, which are out. So I'm actually going to support this with a jack, I believe, and lower it down. Might give me easier access to the lower hose. I'm going to take these two clips out, just use the pliers and pull the centerpiece out. Pull the centerpiece out. Get this off there. There's actually another air dam of some kind on here, so be aware of that. Alright, so it's actually still just hanging here. It's supported by the radiator condenser here. 10mm bolt here. 10mm bolt over here somewhere, up there. I think there's two more up top. Take 4 bolts out, and the radiator should separate from the condenser. Another shield here you can see. That might just stay on, oh, it's on the radiator actually, little buttons. We'll be transferring this onto the new radiator. Maybe you could even pull it off now if you wanted to, your choice. So the radiator's down a little farther, so I'm going to try and get my pliers in here, and I'm going to try and rotate this clamp just to make it easier for me to get to from below. And there is a 10mm bolt up there, like that one, holding the radiator and condenser together. So we'll be taking 4 10mm bolts off. There's a 1/4 inch or 3/8 ratchet on there. Oops, sorry. There's a 3/8 or half 1/4 inch ratchet and a socket on those bolts, and they should come off all right. One here, one there again, and then up there. Can't really see it right now. is the other 10mm bolt. We've got the radiator assembly actually suspended up there. It'll probably come out if we just move the radiator like that. It'll drop down actually, so you can do that. Move the radiator, give yourself some space. This plastic piece here, this kind of holds the radiator because the hose. That hose right there was fitting in a slot. Up there, there's a slot. So once that hose is out of that, once the hose is out of the slot, kind of allows the radiator and condenser to come down a little bit. And then you can get to the other bolt right there, 10mm. 10mm, as I've talked about, just kind of showing you as I go. And take that bolt out and separate the radiator and condenser. Alright, so the radiator's out. Got this suspended here. Got a jack holding it up a little bit. So you can see up there where the radiator fits into place. There's one up there too. Ooh, somewhere up there. So it's out. And then you want to transfer all these necessary items here. You can just slide on here and make sure these go on your new radiator. It just pulls off. The pins, as we talked about before, you slide that one off. Transfer everything that you need to. If the new radiator you have doesn't come with these, then you can pop these off with a screwdriver and it'll transfer parts. And I think that you certainly could take the radiator fan assembly down with the radiator, but this makes it lighter when you do it separately. So for 2 bolts and an electrical connector, I think it's worth it. Got 3 of the 4 bolts started, not too bad. Just take a peek up there and make sure everything's lined up where it needs to be. Hoses and stuff. Alright, got the upper radiator in its slots and got this bolted in, and you're going to benefit from having a friend help you or a jack just to kind of balance this. and hold it up. You can use a jack or a friend and hold the radiator and condenser in place, and then slide this big bar back into place, and then make sure it's up in the slots, and this basically touches the frame. Then you can bolt it in. Don't try and force it up in case that radiator is not in its proper slot at the top. So again, second hand from a friend or jack will help speed things along for you. Less frustration. Make it a pretty easy, pretty quick job. And well worth it to call a friend for half an hour, help you out. Basically continue the reverse procedure to install, and we'll fill it with some coolant. Alright, here's the radiator cap and the pressurized overflow bottle. Keep tight, do not open hot. Turn it 1 step, 2 steps. Cold, fill hot, minimum, max, right there. So just go ahead and fill it up. Nice 50-50 mix of coolant. It's Mopar coolant is what's in here, so we're putting that back in. Try not to put that universal green stuff in there. It confuses people, I think, and it looks like regular antifreeze even though it's really not. So try and stick with whatever came out of it. And we'll run it for a few minutes. In about 5 minutes you should start to feel some heat. Set the temperature settings inside the car to hot, and on the vent crank it up a little bit, and then in about 5 minutes you should feel some heat. If you don't feel any heat, if it still feels really cold, then you might want to stop it and wait a few minutes, then maybe open this up. You can turn it 1 turn, relieve the pressure if there's any, and then turn it and maybe try and top off your coolant level right there. So I'll start it up and run it, and that would complete your radiator replacement on your 2007 and other model years. 2006 Charger. Make sure your cooling fan's reconnected. Good luck to you. We did get heat after just a few minutes in there. We took it for a test drive, and now we're back. It's cooled off for about 3 hours, 2 hours. I don't know, we've filled it up to the cold fill max right there. We can call this job complete.